In Sheepfarmer's Daughter, Paksenarrion, a determined young woman, escapes a forced marriage and joins Duke Phelan's mercenary company. The story plunges you into her intense journey as a recruit, where she endures rigorous training, confronts harassment, and battles fiercely. Paksenarrion's exceptional skill and bravery propel her through the ranks despite relentless challenges. The narrative delves into profound themes of loyalty, justice, and the intrinsic nature of war, with a gripping plot twist involving her pivotal role in uncovering a sexual harassment and conspiracy within her unit.
In a sheep farmer's low stone house, high in the hills above three firs, two swords hang now above the mantelpiece. One is very old and slightly bent, a sword more iron than steel, dark as a pot, forged, so the tale runs, by the smith in Rocky Ford. Yet it is a sword for all that, and belonged to Canis once, and tasted orc's blood and robber's blood in its time. The other is a very different matter, long and straight, keen-edged, of the finest sword steel, silvery and glinting blue, even in yellow firelight. The pommel's knot design is centered with the deeply graven seal of St. Gerd. The cross hilts are gracefully shaped and chased in gold. The children of that place look at both swords with awe, and on some long winter nights, old Dorthan, grandfather of fathers and graybeard now, takes from its carved chest the scroll that came with the sword and reads aloud to his family. But first he reminds them of the day a stranger rode up, robed and mantled in white, an old man with thin silver hair, and handed down the box and the sword, naked as it hangs now. "Keep these," the stranger said, "in memory of your daughter Paksenarrion. She wishes you to have them, and has no need of them." And though he accepted water from their well, he would say no more of Paksenarrion, whether she lived or lay buried far away, whether she would return or no.
The Deeds of Paksenarrion is an epic fantasy saga by American author Elizabeth Moon. The Deeds of Paksenarrion was originally published in 3 volumes in 1988 and 1989. The 3 books included are Sheepfarmer's Daughter, Divided Allegiance, and The Oath of Gold. Sheepfarmer's Daughter was awarded the Compton Crook Award at the Baltimore Science Fiction Society for the author's first fantasy novel. So join the Sheepfarmer's Daughter's Paksenarrion as she defies her father's wishes for her to marry a pig farmer and instead joins the army, embarking on a journey that will make her become a legendary hero. Her adventures, marked by bravery and divine favor, leads to the restoration of her lost ruler of the throne, cementing her place in history. Now let's hear what the Deep Dive crew has to say about this book and all the Deeds of Paksenarrion. Buckle up.
Buckle up, folks, because today we're diving into a world of adventure. Oh yeah, a true hidden gem of fantasy. I like that hidden gem. Elizabeth Moon's Sheepfarmer's Daughter. Yes! This book kicks off the Deed of Paksenarrion trilogy. It does, and let me tell you, it's a story that will grab you by the collar and refuse to let go. It's a classic for a reason. Absolutely. And when that often gets overlooked, yeah, they're sleepers. We're going to try and change that today by giving you a spoiler-free glimpse into this world and what makes it so special. And let's face it, who doesn't love a story about someone who breaks free from the ordinary, right, and steps onto a path that leads them to the extraordinary? Absolutely. That's exactly what we get with Pax. Right. Paksenarrion. Nicknamed Pax is no ordinary farm girl. She's not. She's headstrong, a little rebellious, and totally out of sync with the life everyone expects her to lead. Right. Imagine this marriage proposal's endless sheep shearing. Yeah, not exactly the stuff of legend, but Pax is different. She yearns for something more, something bigger than herself. Definitely. And what's fascinating is that her inspiration comes from tales of her warrior cousin. Right. This isn't just some vague wanderlust, it's a specific, almost tangible dream. Exactly. She sees a path, a way to break free from the confines of her life. Oh, wait. And carve her own destiny. Yeah. And that's what leads her to make the most daring decision of her young life. Running away from home to join the Duke's company, a mercenary army. I mean, talk about a leap of faith. Oh yeah, leaving everything she's ever known to join the military. That's a huge decision. Huge. And it speaks volumes about Pax's character. It does, and when she arrives at that recruiting booth, you can see her naive eagerness. This almost childlike belief that she's about to embark on a grand adventure. Right. But the oath she takes is a stark reminder that this is serious business. It's not just some symbolic gesture. No. This oath binds her to years of service. Years. This is where the reality of her choice starts to set in. Right, and the transition from sheep shearing to soldier is anything but smooth. Definitely not. Recruit training is brutal. Brutal. Long marches, weapons training, harsh punishments. Yeah. It's a far cry from the romanticized image of knighthood. Oh, absolutely. Oh. There's a scene where Pax and another recruit are tasked with digging the latrine trench. Oh. The Jack's Trench, as they call it. Oh, yeah. Talk about a rude awakening. Yeah. This is where the unglamorous realities of army life hit home. It sets the stage for what's to come. The dirt, the grime, the sheer exhaustion. For sure. But beyond the physical challenges, Pax faces another obstacle. Yeah. Being a woman in a world dominated by men. It's a constant struggle. It is. She deals with harassment, prejudice. Yeah. And tragically, even a brutal assault. It's awful. It's a heartbreaking reminder of the dangers she faces. Dangers that go beyond the battlefield. This incident with Corporal Stafey is a turning point. It is. It highlights the deeply flawed systems of justice within the army, the power dynamics, the culture of silence. Ugh. It's a sobering look at the darker side of military life. And it's so frustrating to see the lack of accountability. I know. But even in the face of such adversity, right, what strikes me is Pax's resilience. Totally. She could have easily given up and gone home. She could have. But she doesn't. She digs deep and pushes forward. Her determination is incredible. It is. And what's really heartwarming is the support she finds within the company. Yeah. The friendships she forges, particularly with Sabin and Canna, become her lifeline. I love those characters. Me too. These relationships, is this camaraderie. Right. It becomes a source of strength for her. Right. It shows that even in the harshest of environments, human connection can thrive. Absolutely. And it's these bonds that help prepare her for the ultimate test. Oh yeah. Her first taste of battle. Talk about a trial by fire. Oh yeah. The company faces off against a rebel force. Right. And Pax is thrown headfirst into the chaos and violence. She is. She gets injured, has to fight for survival. It's a baptism by fire in the truest sense. It's where all that training, all that hardship is put to the test. Yeah. And it's also where we see glimpses of Pax's true potential. Right. There's a chaotic wagon crash where she steps up, demonstrates quick thinking and bravery under immense pressure. Under pressure. Yeah. And these actions don't go unnoticed. They don't. Duke Phelan himself is impressed by her observation skills and composure. He is. It's like, even in the midst of this chaos, she's showing leadership qualities. It's a small but significant moment, one that foreshadows her future growth. Yeah. From there, the company settles into their winter quarters in the true city of Valdair. Okay. And we get a glimpse of a different side of army life. It's like a breath of fresh air after all that intensity. It is. Valdair is bustling, a melting pot of cultures and commerce. Yeah. And Pax, who's only ever known rural life, is a little overwhelmed by it all. I bet. Even simple things like handling money become new experiences. Right. It's almost like a coming-of-age story. It is. Within a larger narrative, she's navigating this new world, learning new skills. Right. All while still grappling with the weight of her decision to become a soldier. Yeah, and it's not all sunshine and roses. No. The shadow of war still hangs over everything. It does. And Pax starts to confront the moral dilemmas that come with being a soldier. Absolutely. The treatment of prisoners, the concept of surrender, these things weigh heavily on her. What's fascinating is how her strong moral compass clashes with the often brutal pragmatism of military life. I know. We see her idealism being challenged, her beliefs tested. It's a struggle that many soldiers face. It is. But it's particularly poignant with Pax. Right. Because she's still so young, still figuring things out, still learning. And just as she's starting to find her footing, things take a dramatic turn. The company is ambushed and captured by a rival mercenary force. Oh no. And that's where we'll leave things for now, but trust me, this is just the beginning of Pax's incredible journey. We've only scratched the surface of what Sheepfarmer's daughter has to offer. Barely. We've got daring escapes, moral dilemmas, and hints of a power within Pax that even she doesn't understand. Ooh, I like it. Exactly. There's so much more to explore, and we can't wait to dive deeper with you in the next part. Can't wait. So stay tuned, because this deep dive is just getting started. So Pax and her friends? Yeah. They're prisoners now. Prisoners. Facing a whole new set of challenges. Yeah. Talking about a nightmare scenario. Oh yeah. They're trapped behind enemy lines. Their future is uncertain. Right. But as we know, Pax is not one to just sit back and accept her fate. No, she's not. She's going to make things happen. She's going to figure it out. Yeah. They're resourceful. They've got their training. Right. And most importantly, they have each other. That's right. So it's no surprise that they managed to stage a daring escape. Oh, it's a real edge of your seat moment. It is. They're reading and you're just like, come on, Pax, you can do it. I know, exactly. And she does. And their escape is just the beginning, of another harrowing chapter. Right. Now they're fugitives. They are. Forced to navigate the perils of enemy territory. It's a whole new level of danger. It is. They're relying on their wits, their woodcraft skills, all their training to survive. Right. And they encounter moral dilemmas along the way. They do. Like, there's one where they encounter a young boy. Okay. Who could betray their location. It's a tough situation. It is. Do they trust him? Yeah. Do they risk exposing themselves? I don't know. These are the kinds of choices that really make you think. Yeah. There's no easy answer, and it really highlights the complexities of war. Absolutely. And throughout all of this, Pax never loses sight of her mission. She doesn't. She has to deliver this vital message to do healing. Right. A message that could change everything. Could impact the whole war. The whole war, yeah. It becomes a race against time. It does. She's exhausted. She's injured. She's constantly looking over her shoulder. Yeah. But she's driven by this incredible sense of duty. She has to do it. She does, and she finally reaches a group of the Duke's soldiers. Oh, good. But they're understandably cautious. Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, they're in hostile territory. Right. They can't just trust anyone who wanders in. Right. Claiming to have vital information. Exactly. Must have been so frustrating for Pax. I bet. She's come so far, endured so much. Yeah. And now she faces skepticism. Right. But she's persistent. Yeah, she doesn't give up. And she eventually convinces a soldier named Vosik to relay the message to the Duke. Okay, good. Finally, she gets it through. She gets it through. It's a moment of relief. But the danger isn't over yet. Nope. She's still behind enemy lines, vulnerable, exhausted. And then just when things seem bleakest, what happens? The Duke's forces arrive. Oh, wow. In a dramatic rescue. The cavalry. Talk about a cavalry moment. I love it. It's a fierce battle, but they manage to overcome the enemy and secure Pax's safety. Okay, good. So she's safe. She is. But victory comes at a cost. Oh, no. This is where things take a turn. Okay. Pax learns that her closest friends, Sabin and Canna, didn't make it. Oh, no. They were killed during the battle. Oh, that's awful. It's heartbreaking. It is. It really underscores the brutal realities of war. Yeah. The fact that even the bravest and most skilled can fall victim to its capricious nature. It's a heavy blow for Pax. It is. And it forces her to confront the emotional toll of her experiences. Absolutely. But amidst the grief, something extraordinary happened during the final battle. There are these strange occurrences surrounding Pax. When she's struck by certain enemy weapons, she feels this burning sensation in her hand. Almost as if she's absorbing their power. Absorbing their power, yeah, it's a mystery. Yeah. And it really makes you wonder, what is this? Is it connected to her near-death experience earlier? Maybe. Is it something else entirely? Right. We don't know yet. And the book doesn't give us all the answers right away, which I think is brilliant. I know. It leaves you wanting more. It does. Wondering what this could mean for Pax. Yeah, and this mysterious power attracts the attention of the High Marshal. Oh. Who's this powerful religious figure who suspects a connection to the dark forces that the Duke's army is fighting. Right, the forces of evil. Yeah, so he believes that Pax might possess a latent power. Okay. Something that could be either a blessing or a curse. It adds a whole new layer of intrigue to the story. It does. And then there's Pax's encounter with a paladin named Feneth. Okay. Feneth confirms that Pax's touch had a real tangible effect during the battle. Okay. Hinting at something extraordinary. So the mystery deepens. It does. And that's where Sheepfarmer's daughter concludes. Oh, wow. It's the end of the first act. Okay. In Pax's journey. But it's clear that her story is far from over.
Right, it leaves you with so many questions.
So many questions.
What is the nature of Pax's power?
Right.
How will it shape her future?
Yeah.
And what new challenges await her?
Exactly.
It's a brilliant setup for the rest of the trilogy.
I agree.
And I have to say, Elizabeth Moon
Yeah.
does such an amazing job
She does.
of crafting a compelling protagonist.
So Pax is so relatable.
She is.
She's flawed, sometimes naive,
Right.
but she possesses this unwavering determination
Yeah.
and a strong moral compass
Well,
that you can't help but admire.
I love that about her.
And the world building is fantastic.
Oh, the world building is so good.
It's rich and immersive with complex politics, diverse cultures,
Yeah,
and a magic system that's both fascinating and mysterious.
absolutely.
It's a world you want to spend time in,
Definitely.
a world you want to explore.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes this deep dive so exciting. We've only scratched the surface of Pax's story,
We have.
and we're eager to see where she goes next.
Me too. So buckle up, folks. Buckle up, because this deep dive,
It's just getting started.
it's been quite a ride.
It has.
Going from the sheep farm to the battlefield.
I know, right?
But as we know, this is just the beginning.
It is.
Sheep Farmer's Daughter is laying the foundation for an epic trilogy,
Oh, yeah.
and the best is yet to come.
The best is yet to come. Sheepfarmer's Daughter is really just the tip of the iceberg.
It is.
The story continues in Divided Allegiance,
Yeah.
and Oath of Gold,
Yes,
and the stakes just get higher from here.
they do.
Pax's powers become more central to the story,
Right.
and she's forced to make choices that will have far-reaching consequences.
I love how Elizabeth Moon doesn't shy away from these complex themes.
Me too.
Pax's journey is about so much more than just the physical battles.
Right.
She's wrestling with questions of faith, duty, sacrifice,
Yeah.
and the very nature of good and evil.
And she's not some perfect, flawless hero.
No, she's not.
She makes mistakes. She struggles with self-doubt.
Uh-huh.
She has to grapple with the consequences of her actions.
Right. And it's that vulnerability, that humanness, yes, that makes her so compelling.
Exactly. You really connect with her.
Yeah, you're rooting for her even when she messes up.
Definitely.
And the supporting characters are equally fascinating.
They are.
They really challenge Pax and support her,
Yeah.
and ultimately they help her grow.
The relationships in these books are so well developed.
Yeah.
You really feel the camaraderie
Right.
between Pax and her fellow soldiers,
Uh-huh.
as well as the complex dynamics between her and,
Yeah.
the more experienced warriors and leaders.
And the world building is just as impressive.
Oh, the world building is phenomenal.
It's a richly imagined world
It is.
with this unique magic system
Mhm.
and a history that feels ancient and alive.
Yes. She brings it to life.
She doesn't just tell you about it, she immerses you in it.
You feel like you're there. It's a world you want to get lost in.
Absolutely.
And it's clear that Moon has put a lot of thought and care into its creation.
So if you're looking for a fantasy series that goes beyond just the usual tropes
Yeah.
and offers a truly compelling and thought-provoking experience,
Uh-huh.
I can't recommend The Deed of Paksenarrion enough.
It's a classic for a reason.
It is.
It's a story that stays with you long after we finish the last page.
It does.
It challenges your assumptions, it makes you think, and it leaves you wanting more.
What stood out to you about Pax's story?
Oh, so many things.
What are you most excited to discover as she continues her journey?
I can't wait to see how her powers develop,
Yeah.
what choices she makes,
Right.
and how she ultimately fulfills her destiny.
Share your thoughts with us.
Yeah,
We'd love to hear from you.
we're always eager to connect with fellow fantasy enthusiasts,
Always.
and delve deeper into the worlds that captivate us.
That's what we do.
So until next time, happy reading, folks.
Happy read.
And may your own deep dives be filled with adventure and discovery.